Mr. Starr, good evening or good morning to yours. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, well, morning for me is like 2 in the afternoon. So I got up super early for this interview. It's like 1 o'clock.
Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I mean, it's been crazy 1.5 years. What have you been doing?
Well, we had the break due to Corona.
Mm.
So at first it was devastating at first. And then after about 2 months of realizing that everything's getting canceled and we're not going to be working, I just had to get used to being home, and I had to get used to not performing, and I had to get used to having time off, because since we put out Feel the Steel Panther has been working 8 months out of the year, every year. So I don't know, if it wasn't for COVID, we would have never taken a break. So we really needed a break, physically, mentally, all the above. And we got the break, and it was forced on us. And, for like monetary reasons, we're not making as much money because we're living off our savings and stuff as a band. And it took a while to get used to it. But once I got used to it, I was like, this is great. This is exactly what I needed. So I was able to get my body re-healed and, write a bunch of songs. Satchel wrote a bunch of songs, and Styx wrote a bunch of songs. And we started recording the new record. And what else have we done we've done several live streams, and we've played a bunch of shows later in 2020 that were in states that were opening up sooner than others. So that was cool. But I mean, for the most part, it's been a crazy journey, just like for everybody else, just adapting to what's going on in the world. And I'm glad we're starting to get on the other side of it. And we're back on the road. We just did a show last night. That's why I slept so late. And it was really, really fun. We played in Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, at the Hard Rock Casino.
Nice.
So we did the show in the showroom, and then afterwards, we did a meet and greet thing with people outside. And then I gambled till like 3 in the morning.
Did you win?
I ended up winning like $55 after playing for like 3 hours.
That's a start.
It was killer, man.
I can imagine. So
It's the best kind of entertainment you can ever hope for, because the possibilities of winning a couple $1,000 is there, and then the possibility of losing all your money is there. But then the possibility of playing for 3 hours and coming away with $55 is awesome. It's the cheapest form of entertainment. Yeah, it's cheaper than a date.
So yeah, you told me that you've been working on new material. So I'm quite curious about that. What can we expect and when?
Well, we have Satchel writes all the songs for Steel Panther, and Styx and I write stuff to Satchel's music, right? So we've been able to finish 2 songs so far in pre-production, and then we have about 12 more that we're going to record. So what we're doing is we're having a different process right now because of COVID. And the different process is, we normally don't demo up what Satchel writes. He'll make a demo, and then we usually start in the studio, and then we add our parts to it, right? But this time we're doing it in pre-production, which means he writes the demo, the song, presents it to us. We, learn what we want to learn, and then add our personalities to the songs. But now we're recording them at Styx's house. So Styx, it's really strange, right? Because we don't want to spend the money on on doing it with a producer, because right now we're just barely making it, right? So and we're not signed to a label. We have our own label. So all the money that whenever we put out a record now, we pay for everything up front.
Okay.
So that's why we're doing it this way, this process, just making sure that we're totally ready to go. And then we're going to take those 14 songs and go record them for real in the real studio and produce them. So, as far as the timeline for our new music is concerned, we don't really have one, because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen, because everything could shut down. Like Tokyo shut down yesterday, UK is getting more cases, and it's just, you just never know. So we're just going to keep going down this path. But I can tell you this: the cool thing about the music that we're doing is it's a departure from what we normally do, but it's all based on the same thing: getting fucking high, getting laid, and partying, right?
We need this
And
right now, I guess.
yeah, it's fucking that's what I think, what Steel Panther sells is fun.
Yeah.
And I think that people need this right now. I know I do. I want to escape and laugh and have a good time and rock. So for me, performing is great. It makes me forget about all the bullshit that's going on, and I can just be in that moment and enjoy being around other people performing for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, I mean, you're quite lucky in the US right now with all the live shows and so on. I mean, what's the concept behind it? Because here in Europe, we're still, no shows, no nothing. How do you do it over there?
Well, each state varies from their regulations. So, like for instance, tonight is full capacity show, 2,000 people, and no masks, no nothing. No 6 feet apart.
God.
And then tomorrow night we're playing a place, Des Moines, Iowa, and there is different restrictions. So we're doing 2 performances, one at 7 and one at 10,
Okay.
and they're both half capacity, so like 1,500 capacity each show. And then we play one hour set. They clear the room, disinfect the whole venue. After 2 hours of everything settling,
Yeah.
they refill the audience up, and we go out and do the second show.
Isn't it quite exhausting for you guys, like having kind of 2 shows per night?
Yeah, it's different, but that's what we did before we got signed. We used to do 3 sets a night.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So it's something that we're relatively used to, but it did take a little bit to physically get used to.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, mentally it's like, oh, we've done this before, but
Yeah.
when you give your all for that 1 hour and then you take a break for 2.5 hours, it's hard to get back up again for the second show.
Yeah, I see. I can imagine. And do you already know if or what's planned for Europe?
So far, everything's still in next year.
Yeah.
We had an Australia tour in October, and I think we still do, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody really does. So that Australian tour has been moved twice so far.
Okay.
And we're assuming it may be moved just because Australia is so locked down right now.
Mm.
But as far as the UK is concerned, normally we come over in January and February and do our own headlining tour. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're booked in the summer for all the festivals.
That's
so
right.
Hopefully those still happen.
Let's hope for that one.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's been so strange not to go to Europe every twice a year. I mean, it'll be 2 years since we've been there.
I know. I mean, I was like, my last show was your show actually in Berlin, 2020.
Yeah.
In February, that was like my last concert, and then COVID hit, so
yeah,
it was weird. I was lucky to travel to the US at least last year, and this year I've just been to the States for 2 months, so at least I had this thing, But yeah, no shows so far.
You're lucky to actually be able to come over, huh?
Yeah, no, I just spent 2 weeks in Mexico actually before, so I could enter the US, and then we just did from Venice Beach really to Key West, the whole road trip for 6 weeks, which was quite cool.
Oh, that's a fun trip.
It was amazing, really. And
coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
That's great. So then you drove to Florida or whatever, right? East Coast, and then flew home from there?
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart. It's funny, like in the whole airport, they make you wear a mask.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining about regulations. I just think some of it's funny because it's virtually impossible to be 6 feet apart in a plane.
Yeah, kind of.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
but I am not complaining or,
No, I mean, it's
any of that stuff. I mean, I'm totally down to try to do whatever it takes to be a part of the success of getting rid of COVID as opposed to being part of the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still annoying though.
Yeah, I know. But still, if that's what you need to make it possible, you just put it in.
I have my mask in my back pocket at all times, just in case. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. You just sometimes you have to learn. Look, somebody taught me this early on. They said, you know, you can either be a palm tree or an oak tree.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, what's that mean? He goes, well, in a windstorm, an oak tree will be uprooted and a palm tree will bend and still live after the storm. So, you know,
Palm trees.
we're just being palm trees, man. Whichever way the wind blows, we do what we're told and fucking, you know, and we can't get girls on stage in some places. They're like freaked out about it. So we, depending on how big the stage is, if the stage is 40 feet apart, we can fit as many girls at 6 feet apart that will fit in a 40-foot radius. So,
oh my God, so much to think about.
Yeah, so if there's a heavy set chick, it eliminates a skinny girl, which is cool.
Well, you know, you do what you need to do, so that's fine.
Yeah, we're being palm trees, man. Come on.
Yeah. And I also saw, you know, talking about being palm trees and adapting, that you also did some live shows from the Viper Room and streamed it.
Yeah, we did a couple shows from, originally we did our first 2, or I think maybe 3, I'm not sure, live streams from DW Drums warehouse in Oxnard, California. And that was really cool. They gave it the space for free, and we cross promoted the drums and our brand, and that went really well. And then we signed a deal with the Viper Room to do 5 live what do you call them? Live streams. Right. Thank you. Yeah. And so we did 2 of them, and then we had Thanksgiving and Christmas all set up, you know, themes, and we did a bunch of video skits for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then LA shut down again. So we couldn't even go into Viper Room and film our live stream.
Not even that?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did our last live stream, I think it was maybe 8 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
How was it for you, you know, like performing?
Live stream, it's weird. It's weird. Luckily, though, for us, we interact with the audience a lot, right? Yeah. So what we did is, for the live streams, is we set up a huge, like 80-foot big screen TV, and then we had all the comments come up, and we could actually interact with the comments as the show's going on. Yeah. Because, you know, I don't know, I think keeping it more interactive for us is really important, because it's hard to do what we do in front of a camera guy.
Yeah. I mean,
but I mean, we can do it, but it's just different.
You know.
Yeah. So, you know, on some of the live streams, we have the ability to bring in some crowd cheering and boos and whatever chants, and we, you know, fucked with that. It was kind of fun, kind of like a sitcom.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But you're also looking forward, I guess, to getting back to normal.
Yeah, I'm just grateful where we're at right now.
Mm.
You know, whatever we go through, we're gonna make it through it, and we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. That's the one thing that I think COVID has done for a lot of bands. It's either split them up, or it's brought them closer together.
Yeah. It's a good part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's stressful, you know, because people in bands rely on live shows to pay their bills.
I know.
So, you know, once January hit and it was 2021, we're like, our prudent reserve was all used up. We couldn't pay ourselves, so we're just like, well, guess we'll just wait it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I got a job at Starbucks, and that's cool.
So yeah, how's your new job? Tell me about it.
Oh, it's great. I'm a great Frappuccino maker.
Oh, great. I think I need to try one day.
Yeah, I'll give you 10% off.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Yeah. And then you will drop your job at Starbucks once your new record will be released, right? That was the...
I'll probably just take a leave just in case COVID comes back.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, just in case. You never know what's going to happen.
It's true, unfortunately. So yeah, and talking about your new record again.
Yeah.
Do you maybe have some hints or some insights for our users here about the new record? Something you can share already?
Yeah, I can. Well, I'll just give you a little bit of the storyline of one song.
Nice.
So I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you're on Instagram, you're looking and you see like the super hot guy, right? And you're like, oh my God, the guy's so fucking hot. And then you like see him somehow in person and he looks nothing. He's, you know, he's got an app where he can put the abs on and the chest and thicker hair and bigger eyes and, you know, all the shit. And then you see him in person, you're like, oh my God, this guy looks nothing like it. So that's what one song is called. It's pretty awesome.
It's nice.
Or it's not about guys, it's about girls for us.
Ah, okay, I see. Well,
yeah,
you know, gotta make sense.
And then, you know, like I was telling you, the theme of Steel Panther remains the same. You know, we're not going to start writing a concept record about space and time travel. You know, we're just we're singing about pussy and partying and getting high and, you know.
COVID be a topic too?
COVID? No. Fuck no. We don't want to talk about that.
Let's just forget about it.
Why bring up the harsh reality of what we just got done dealing with? Let's sing about shit that is, you know, uplifting, funny, and exciting.
I missed that.
I know, I can tell by your top.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you look good.
You gotta do what you gotta do when you're at home here.
Oh, hell yeah. Look as sexy as you can.
So, Mr. Starr, after 1.5 years, you know, of also no shows and so on, how did this affect your voice? Did you basically get a rest, or do you now need to, you know, work more on it to hit the high notes or so? How does it work for you as a singer, you know?
Well, if I'm on tour, right, and we have like a couple weeks off in between tours like we normally would, it doesn't affect my voice at all. It's just that couple weeks I need to rest and I go back out and sing. But taking more than 2 weeks off, like 3 months, coming back and singing is really difficult because my voice is not in shape anymore. So when I start singing, it immediately will swell up because it's not used to being, you know, used like that. So it takes a little while to get back into the rhythm. It's like going to the gym. You know, you go to the gym, you're all stoked, and you're doing it for 2 months, and then you're like, fuck it. You take it 2 months off, and then you go back like, oh my God, this is so hard again. Yeah. It's kind of the same principle.
I see. And what do you do? I mean, because you really have an amazing range of your voice. What do you usually do to keep it in shape?
I use vapor and I don't smoke cigarettes. That helps a lot. No cocaine. That helps a lot. Yeah, I had to stop doing that. And then I don't know, you know, just you know what really helps me a lot is hiking, because I do that a lot. So that keeps my cardio up. And then if I'm like hiking hills and shit, usually when I'm hiking, I'll either be talking to a buddy I'm hiking with, which is usually our producer Jay. That's usually who I hike with. Or if I'm alone, I'll talk on the phone while I'm going up a hill or sing, and that creates a stamina that you can't really you can't prepare for the live show. Okay. I mean, you can as much as you can, but it's different once I get on stage because there's the crowd, which changes my perception and everything that's going on in my mind. And then, you know, there's the excitement and the adrenaline that happens. Yeah. You know, when I'm hiking on my own and I'm singing, you know, I'm just by myself, you know. But when you're on stage, I have to really go, okay, calm down and, you know, don't sing too hard and just take my time. Yeah. So I think for me, the best thing for me is sleep, right? Lots of fucking water, working out and hiking, and, you know, having sex.
Yeah, I heard that helps a lot.
It really does, especially with your cardio, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Especially if you're with a girl who takes a long time to climax, it forces you to work out harder.
That's really good. Everything for the job, you know, you do what you need to do for your job. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that type of movement, that pelvic movement, the thrust, you know, I use that on stage a lot. So if I can have, the more sex I have, the better on stage I'm moving.
Perfect, yeah.
It also loosens up all the arthritis and, you know, the cataracts go away. It's great.
It's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Do you have a special warm-up for your voice before a show?
I do. So at sound check, what I do is I sing an octave lower at sound check.
Okay.
And because I wasn't doing that before. I would just go out and sing full voice at sound check, and I'd be like, oh man, my voice is sore. But if I sing a low register at sound check, it warms up my voice for the show. And then right before I go on, I'll do some I don't know, this might be getting a little technical for people who don't sing, but you have a falsetto, and full voice. So I'll start at falsetto and work my way down the notes all the way to my full voice. And the connection between falsetto and the full voice is where it's really important to have it be a smooth transition.
Okay.
So once I can make that connection, usually I'm ready to go. I'm warmed up. But sometimes it takes maybe 20 times of going ooh, all the way down, you know, connecting falsetto with full voice before I can get a smooth connection. But once that's connected, I know I have full range. And if I'm having trouble singing, it's because my technique is gone bad. You know, sometimes it happens. You get excited, you run around, you're out of breath, and you're like, fucking yeah, woo! And I start singing wrong, and it fucks you up. Yeah.
Have you ever thought of giving some online or not online lessons to other people?
I have, and I've done it. I used to give vocal lessons before I was in Steel Panther, or before we became Steel Panther. And it was cool. It's hard though. It's not easy. So I wasn't raised to be a teacher. I was raised to be a doer.
Yeah.
And if somebody asks me, I will gladly tell them what I do.
Okay.
But that's all I know. I just know how to. I've taken lessons from vocal coaches that taught me how they warm up and what they do and all that stuff. And I've taken little pieces of each teacher and incorporated it into my warm-ups and what I do. But for every person, it's different. So, you know, my experience on how I get my voice ready to go and technique and all that kind of stuff it should be the same, but it really isn't. Some teachers, most professional teachers will say it's all the same for everybody, but it's not. Everybody's voice is completely different. No one really sounds the same when they sing. Yeah. So it's a different animal. I don't know. So yeah, it's a quick answer to your question is yes, I thought about it, but I don't think it's something that I'm ready to do yet. What I would like to do if we ever do retire is teach not actually vocal lessons, but performance lessons.
Okay.
Because I think that I don't know. I think that that's something that is teachable to anybody.
You think so?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't teach a natural ability or a natural characteristic like charisma. You can't. Some people either have it or they don't have it. But you can teach somebody how to pretend they have it.
That's a start. Make it till you make it.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, then you learn, you know, some basic concepts of what charisma really is, and you know, I think it can be taught. It's not something that, like your vocals, some people, you know, either, you know, it's not just your vocal cords, it's also how you hear yourself. So some people just don't hear themselves the way I would hear myself, and they sing differently. So that for me, I think is hard to teach. But as far as like performance, like when I go see bands, I don't want to watch 4 dudes on stage staring at their shoes. That's fucking boring.
Yeah.
You know, I want someone to engage with me and give me eye contact and make me feel like, oh, they're glad I'm here.
I'm seen.
You know what I mean? I don't want to go see a band that's like, oh, I'm so fucking depressed and I don't even care that you're here because the music's most important, man. You know,
the 90s are gone.
Yeah, dude, fuck that. I mean, there's great band. I mean, even you look at fucking Stone Temple Pilots, deceased singer, Scott.
Yeah.
That guy had charisma. He didn't stare at his shoes. That guy fucking got in your face and he was crazy and weird and awkward and strange. And it was rad, you know?
Yeah.
And I think any band that has a good singer that plays guitar, you're up against a charisma blocker with that fucking guitar. You know, because the guitar forces you to be in one spot at the mic.
True.
You know, and nobody wants to see a rock singer with a fucking headset on.
Yeah,
That's not cool. So, did I answer your question?
You did. I would gladly take one of the lessons. I think that would be interesting.
I think you do pretty good at it. You already have charisma.
Good start. So yeah, I asked actually all of my questions. Is there anything I missed or something you would like to add to tell our audience here?
Yeah, I would. I just want to say I'm grateful that we are all making it through this pandemic together, and we're going to get to the other side of it. And when we do, we're going to come rock your fucking faces off.
Amazing.
And even, you know, even if only the UK opens, we're going there. Even if Sweden only opens, we're going there. You know, we'll go anywhere. And we've, you know, one cool thing about this pandemic is the main promoter that we normally are assigned to is Live Nation. Mm-hmm. So when Live Nation closed down, they're a big corporation, so they have to really go by all the, you know, all the rules that have been implemented due to COVID. But, you know, there's other promoters that we've never worked with. So we played so many different places and different venues that we never played before. So that's been fun too. So you're going to come see us and you're going to be like, why are they playing here? But you're going to be stoked.
That sounds quite promising.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So I just want to say, keep on rocking, don't give up. And we'll be back.
Well, then have a good show tonight. Have fun. Enjoy it for me.
I will.
I'd love to be there. And yeah, see you soon.
All right, take care. Bye.
Ciao.